Hi everyone, my name is Kendrick and welcome to Travel and Live Free. In this video, we're going to cover the 7 hard truths that you learn if you are someone that travels a lot. Since 2015, I started traveling quite a bit, and since then I got a chance to get a wide variety of travel experiences, and most of them are positive. However, there are still some bad things that happen to you when you travel, and in this video, there are 7 things that I want to cover that are the cold hard truths when it comes to traveling. The first one is that racism is real, unfortunately. I live in Canada where people are more or less welcoming to one another regardless of your cultural background, but there are certain countries that I've traveled to, such as Italy and Switzerland, where I have experienced racism. It's very unfortunate that I have experienced racism because I would like to think that at the end of the day, we are all of the same race, which is the human race. The second hard truths that you learn when you travel a lot is that regardless of which country you go to, taxi scams are all over the place. Even here in Canada, I remember my sister getting scammed by a taxi when she tried to take a cab home from work. As for me, the most taxi scams I have encountered was actually in the Middle East. It is so rough to travel in the Middle East with all those taxi scams that they have. Thankfully, there's Uber now, but there's still a lot of countries out there that doesn't have ride sharing, and taxi scams is still very much prevalent. The third hard truths that you learn when you travel a lot is that when you go back home from traveling, no one cares to hear about your amazing travel stories. Most people only want to talk about what they know, and when you talk about something so foreign and exotic, it's really outside their box, outside their comfort zone, and they just don't care to hear about it. This is why I started a travel meetup here in Canada, so that I can meet up with like-minded people who loves traveling. And so when someone comes back from an amazing travel experience, they can go to that travel meetup and share those stories with fellow travel lovers. Because sadly enough, when you tell your friends and family or coworkers about it, no one really cares. They'll pretend that they care and they'll ask you how it went, but really they don't really care. The 4 hard truths that you learn when you travel a lot is that it can be quite expensive to travel. Even if you're using a lot of travel hacking strategies, which I cover a lot in my blog and YouTube channel, at the end of the day, it's still expensive to travel. For example, I went to Uganda and it cost almost $1,000 for a 1-day gorilla trekking in Bwindi National Park. So that's quite a lot of money to spend in a 1-day time span. So as you can see, the amount of money that you spend while traveling starts to add up pretty quickly. The 5th hard truth that you learn when you travel a lot is that you will eventually get sick when you travel. And there's nothing worse than getting sick while traveling because number 1, it ruins your travel experience. Number 2, you waste time. Number 3, it feels horrible to be sick. And number 4, you also feel helpless. Many times I got food poison in Myanmar, in Madagascar, in Albania, and those were some of my worst travel experiences ever, which is getting food poisoning. I've also gotten a fever while I was in the Philippines. I was sick while I was in Ireland. And just getting sick when you're traveling is just horrible. Unfortunately, the more times you travel, the higher the probability becomes of you getting sick and especially getting food poisoned. The 6th hard truth that you will learn when you travel a lot is that traveling can be unhealthy. You're frequently changing time zones and your body's not used to it. You're not sleeping in a consistent time that you normally do back home. You're always on the move. There's a lot of viruses and bacteria when you are in the airport or hotels or whichever destination that you're in. You're not exercising as much. You might be walking a lot, but you're actually not doing any real exercise like you would in a gym. And you tend to eat a lot of unhealthy food when you travel. Because of course, when you travel, eating food from different countries is part of that experience. But of course, you tend to overindulge yourself and you're probably not going to be in the best shape when you come back from traveling. And the 7th hard truth that you learn when you travel a lot is that you tend to get numb from sightseeing after a while. You start to compare your experiences from the past experiences, and you might say to yourself, this is nice, but it's not as nice as when I went to that country. And that's not really a healthy way to travel, but as a human being, you can't help but compare experiences that you've had in the past. I suppose that if you have a bad memory, this is not a problem, but it does become a problem after a while where sightseeing feels like work. Anyways, those are the 7 hard truths that you learn when you travel a lot. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your comments below. And don't forget to sign up to our Travel and Live Free newsletter, where you can get a 10-step cheat sheet on how to travel around the world. You also get the latest tips and strategies on how to save money on travel for Canadians, how to go on a around the world adventure travel for Canadians, and how to use travel to get more freedom in your life as a Canadian. You You can sign up for the newsletter in the description below. Until next time, I'll see you then.